Thank you for logging on to the PawCast for the week of Monday, March 12th through Friday the 16th. Hello, I'm Mr. Andrews.
And I'm Miss Pegram.
And here's what's happening on our team this week.
Hey again, guys. I can't believe another week is down. I feel like I was just recording last week's podcast, but sure enough, we have come past another week and we are sadly bringing our Wonder unit to a close. I know a lot of people are sad about that, as am I. I love the book. We got to watch the movie Friday, which in my opinion, which was an awesome movie, but didn't even compare to the book. So parents, I would even encourage you to, if you get a chance to read the book, it's really phenomenal. But next week in ELA, we're going to begin our final unit of the year. I really can't believe I'm saying that. But we are, final unit of the year. The first part of the week, we're going to do a mini unit on poetry, which is literally one of my favorite things to teach. Poetry for the longest time has been a passion of mine. I like to write poetry. I like to read poetry. So hopefully I can show that love to the kids and introduce it to them as well. But later that week, I will be introducing our final unit for the year with ELA, which is going to talk about the Civil War. So right there again, we're integrating that social studies into the English content. And of course, Washington coming up soon. We'll keep talking about that. Really hit that hard next week and the following week after. We're going to talk about sites that we're visiting, monuments, even a few things that we aren't going to be able to visit on the trip, but we may see a little bit of things like that. But I'm really looking forward to next week. Make sure you come in ready to start Monday, as always. And thank you again for another great week.
During the math portion of our school day, we're going to start out with an assessment on Monday using line plot graphs. Now, a line plot organizes data. Students worked on this on Thursday and Friday, and they left Friday knowing we would have a quick assessment Monday using those line plots not only to organize data, but also to solve problems. We'll do that Monday, and then Tuesday through Friday of this week, we're going to begin a long unit of study on capacity, the study of volume. So we're building on fourth grade knowledge of area and third grade knowledge of perimeter, and now we're going to make it three-dimensional. It gets kind of complex, but nothing outside the reach and realm of fifth grade. But students need to understand going into this that just like fractions is a huge part of fifth grade math, volume and capacity are equally important in fifth grade math. So we're finishing up with a big bang with fractions and now moving into volume. During the science portion of our school day, we'll continue studying second and third laws of motion by Sir Isaac Newton, and we'll finish this week with an assessment, I would say Thursday, definitely by Friday of this week, on Newton's second and third laws of inertia. This week we were able to take the bottle rocket launcher outside and illustrate Newton's laws of inertia. We used all the vocabulary that we've been studying and also came in and talked a little bit about what we could do differently if we went back outside with the bottles and the launcher. So we'll probably do that before the school year is over. and try some of the things that students suggested. But the main thing we went out there to be able to show was acceleration and velocity. We also were trying to look at Newton's second law of motion, which had something to do with if we use the same force but we increased mass, what would that do to velocity? And so it was really kind of fun watching and seeing what went on. And I told the students that we'd probably put that on the PawCast this week. So here are some of the things that we saw and some of the things we learned. 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Andrews, he's in the U.S., he's at a capital. Oh, which one will we learn about this week?
So where in the United States am I this week? Well, the clues that I'll be using come from Paola Vage, and Paola has given me 4 clues. Paola, I've been to your state, and I am now standing in front of the Capitol. This was a few years back that I was in the capital city. But Paola gives us 4 clues, and boy, was she very tricky. Her first clue is that this state has a theme park or amusement park called Kings Island. She also tells me in clue number 2 that this state borders on a lake called Lake Erie. Think you know it yet? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, because her third clue says that this state has a city in it called Pittsburgh. Tricky, tricky, Paola. And her third clue may give it away. She says this state has a team that plays baseball in this state, and their team mascot is the Reds. Paola, I've also been to this stadium. Here in 2005, I was watching the Orioles play. My brother, that's the ugly guy beside me here, we watched the Orioles play the Reds, and my brother Mark pulls for the Reds. Paola has given us 4 clues. Hopefully you have narrowed it down to the correct state, but you'll also need to have the state's name and capital name as well. Parents, if you could, please sign the bonus answer. That lets us know that you also were watching the PawCast.
Where is Mr. Andrews? He's in the U.S. He's at a capital. Oh, which one will we learn about this week?
Let's have a great week together.